Scouting on Football Manager, it can be fun and challenging. What do you do when you find two players who've got similar attributes? How do you tell whether one player is better than the other? Last year, I introduced you to Dr. Jit, the tool that I use on my live streams to choose between players. This year, there's a slight change, but it works just as well. So if you want to use the tool, it's pretty easy. What you got to do is go to your players in range, go to your search window. I've got the view loaded. You want to load Dr. Jit, the MB filter, that's included. The links for that are in the thread below. And then you'll have all these metrics all load up. Now you might have to exit and enter again. Sometimes when you load something new, these are blanks. All you got to do is exit and come back in. Now here, there are two things you want to bear in mind. First, you want to include your club players. Now, if you don't uncheck this button, your players won't be included, right? So you want to leave this unchecked. Then my advice, there will be a lot of leagues that I've included, but I don't include lower leagues. You might want to adjust this based on the leagues you want to be assessing or you want to be scouting from. Now, I've got Van Rama National League, so I want to compare how my defenders are doing versus the rest of the defenders in the league. Why is that important? Now, sometimes when you're about to get promoted, you want to strengthen your squad. You want to get the right kind of players. But you want to make scouting easier, especially if you're in the lower leagues. You don't have a lot of money, so you just want to whittle that list down, and you just want to target important players. So coming back here, we've got all these players included. What you want to do is Control A, right? Select one of the players, then scroll all the way down to the bottom, then scroll all the way back to the top, then hit Control P. You got an option to print. On the Mac, it'll be Command P. Then save it in a folder right? You can find easily. So I've got the file saved as Central Defender Comparison. To use this tool, go to the link below. You can also save this as an app on your computer. Upload the file, find out where you've loaded it. So we've got it here. And when you upload it, once you've imported the file, it's going to look like this. Click this, you got filters. You can whittle this list down. Once you start using this tool, and if you're familiar with stats, this is actually quite powerful. Check this. We've got the scores now, right? So we've got all the players here. I can just come to this, click it. It arranges everything in descending order. Now, where's my player? Jack Taylor. He's like 9th, not very high. His score is 3.262. The best player is about 3.686. If I'm looking, his value for money, man, 22,000. Right? That's not too bad. He's made like one appearance now. This could suggest this is a fluke result. So what I will do here is I'll come in here. Now you notice there's no appearances, but we can go and do minutes. Select greater than. Maybe we want to make sure this player has played some games. We can add the minutes, and there we go. Or you can use before you export it, you can set the appearances up. Now we've got all these players, and now Jack Taylor, we've taken out all those guys who make substitute appearances, and Jack Taylor has moved up to 4th, which is pretty good. He's on loan, and he's 4th. Now, if I wanted to bring in another player, I'll probably be identifying players like Jack Klook, David Agbontohoma. Now, then I've got Jacob Mensah here. He's pretty high up the list as well. It's 3.418. These players are not bad. So maybe I'm thinking, yeah, we'll ignore him. He's made a few substitute appearances, but this player might be worth scouting. Now, if I go back to the game, Jacob Mensah, and what I like about this tool, he's also wanted by a club that's playing high up in the divisions. This tool is very handy because it follows an algorithm that's also similar to what the game follows in how he wants to scout and add players to the squads. So his numbers are good enough for the AI to want to include him. So what I'll do is I'll send a scout out to check him out. This guy as well. He's actually available on a free, which is interesting. So we'll add a scout out, and then I might even go add him to a short list, because this is the power of using a tool like this. If you're in the lower league, sometimes you want to add players to your squad. You don't know if they're any good. But in the lower leagues, not a lot of players get extensions to their contracts, and sometimes they can be available for frees. So what you can do is you can just steal these players from other clubs if they're performing well. It's a great way for us to add players to our squad without spending any money. There are other ways I can use the tool too. Maybe I want to look for a striker that's really good at finishing his chances. Or maybe I want to look for a player that can create good chances for his teammates. Maybe I want to find a player who can create chances and still be solid at tackling. Now, how would I do that with this tool? Basically, this tool has got scoring efficiency, chance creation score, and defensive action score. These are all metrics that calculate based on statistics in the game. There are weights attached to some of these metrics. If you want to order them, all you got to do is click on this. It goes in descending order. This one goes in ascending order. That's done. Now, scoring efficiency, basically any player who's got 1 and higher has a decent scoring efficiency. Basically, you're looking for players between the ranges of 1 to 1.4. Now, any player who's higher than that, like extremely high, in this particular is 12.5, these guys are outliers. They probably scored headers from outside the area or long shots from outside the area. So you wanna forget all the outliers. But players who are like 1.2, 1.3, well, their finishing is pretty decent. Any players got less than that, you want to ignore them because it means that that player, a striker who has got a scoring efficiency of less than 1, has gotten into goal scoring positions plenty of times, but he's not very good at finding the back of the net. A player who's got a scoring efficiency of 1.3 to about 1.4, now that player is very good at getting into goal scoring positions and finding the back of the net. Erling Haaland normally falls at about 1.4 using this tool. Then we've got chance creation score. This uses the metrics in the game like open play, key passes, chances created, the very metrics that tell us if a player is good at making chances for his teammates. So if you order this, the numbers will range between 0.2, 0.1 to about 0.9. Sometimes it can go up to as high as 1.3. Now, a player who's got the higher the number, generally the better the player is. So that's basically how you look at chance creation scores. Now, when I do this, Kevin De Bruyne usually ends up at 1.1, 1.2. Defenders, they don't create a lot of chances, so you normally see lower numbers for them. And some of these ball-playing defenders, they get up the pitch, they lay on the pass to somebody else who gets into a goal-scoring position to score. Yeah, it happens. Players, set pieces, defenders, sometimes they rise up, they do a flick-on header, they generate an assist. So you generally want to be looking at different positions to make your assessments. And then finally, I've already explained defensive action. Now, what if you were looking for a ball-winning midfielder? Then you'd be looking for a combination of defensive action and maybe some chance creation score. But then when I look for ball-winning midfielders, what I do is I come in here and I also add in progressive passes, and I filter players based by progressive passes and pass completion, because I want to find players who can play the ball forward and players that don't lose the ball. Let's be serious. Statistics, not for everybody in the game of Football Manager. For some of you, this is just too much information. For others, yeah, it's a great, fun little tool if I wanted to go attributeless. For me personally, I just use it for basic stuff. Like I want to compare a few players together. I want to see how my team is doing versus the rest of the league. Hey, I want to go and find a player, and I don't want to rely entirely on my scouts. So it all depends on the reason why you're going to use a tool like this. However, at the end of the day, I could probably do a video explaining each statistic in the game. Unfortunately, I don't know how long I will be awake when I do that video. My advice, if you want to know what these statistics do in the game, go find out yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's the best way for you to learn. I hope you enjoyed today's video and you found it useful. Links to the tool are below, the view as well. Stay safe, take care of yourselves. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.